welcome back to this week's episode of AMA Friday with Amy Miller, Recruiting in Yoga Pants. So this week, we're going to dig into social media presence. How important is it to your job search? Is it important at all? And what are some of the pros and cons? So this is a viewer question, so thank you so much to my sweet friend over on LinkedIn who had this question for me, and I'm excited to talk a little bit about this because I gotta tell you, I had to kind of check my own assumptions about this. I had to really marinate on is it important? Who's it important for? Why is it important? Is that a biased opinion? I had a lot going on up here as I was preparing for this video. So here's the short answer. Like most recruiting questions, it depends. Sorry. I know you hate that. But no, in all seriousness though, I think that, job search is unfortunately chronically online, right? We have to apply through a website. We have to interview virtually over a video chat. I get it. There seems to be this push or this kind of new world in which we are all just online, on social all the time, and it's exhausting. I'm actually getting a little bit of a migraine thinking about it. So anyway, what does this mean for job seekers? What should you do, especially if you are like me, a little more introverted? I think that's one of the reasons I do well online though, because I'm at home. I'm not out being social in public. I don't want any of that. But there are people who are not comfortable online too, right? And don't want to share everything that goes through their mind or just are not comfortable. And there's so many reasons for that. So many reasons. I've worked with this is obviously a brutal example, but domestic violence survivors who, for their own safety, can't be online. Can't be out there in public and posting resumes and all the things. So I think it's really important from a recruiting point of view to be mindful of individual situations and not index too hard on talent that we find being active. I think there's a real bias risk there. So that's something for my recruiting friends. We all need to be careful of that. I understand, we can only find people who are findable, right? We're going to use those keyword searches. We're going to use those indicators that this person might take my call, those kinds of things. I get that. But I really had to, kind of, a little aha moment, around potential bias and things like that in the recruiting process if I'm focusing too much on something that's maybe not technically role related. So, thanks for making me think, friend. But let's talk about what this means for a job seeker. I recommend testing this. I think that's really important. I think knowing your industry, knowing what's expected, anticipated, that's important. But also playing around with different models and methods and inputs to see what gets you the results you're looking for. This is important because I could, if I'm a job seeker and let's say I'm going to use one of the roles I'm currently recruiting for. Let's say I'm an assembly technician and I've decided that I'm going to go find my next job and I'm going to go make a lot of noise on social media and create this crazy robust profile and do all the things. I'll be the only assembly technician that my sourcers will find on LinkedIn because y'all, they are not there. So it's, it's a little crazy, but no, I think, all kidding aside, I think that is super important. Is my position, is my industry, are people like me active on social media? Let's look at healthcare as an example. How many ER nurses are on LinkedIn? Might have a profile, but are they posting daily? No, they're fixing people in hospitals. They're busy. They got shit to do. So again, like your industry, your specific skill set, the work you want to do, there has to be a little bit of like kind of this A/B testing. Well, if I do this, I get that result. And if I do that, I get, try it out, right? There's no like single best practice, or like you don't have to, if you start something, you don't have to do it for the rest of your life. Like you can decide it doesn't work and stop doing it. So that's going to be a big indicator for me. Like, where are the people I want to meet? Where are the job opportunities? And what do people who look like me, career-wise, people whose jobs I want to emulate, what do they do? Okay, like we see this like with software sometimes, right? I've worked with teams before who were like super picky about like GitHub profiles and like, oh, this person doesn't have enough activity, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, but can they code? Isn't that what really matters here? Anyway, so knowing your industry, knowing kind of the best practices, if you will, that are expected, if that helps, is going to be really key. There's also your personal level of comfort. It is absolutely okay to decide to approach your online presence however you want. For some people, that may be, I'm going to write a new post every day. I'm going to go big on creating unique content. I've had friends who've like had tremendous success because they've shared their job search journey. You know, my pal Mike over on TikTok, I'll be doing a live with him. You know, he talks about that, you know, about just kind of being, you know, really open and transparent about here's how his search has gone. And there's nothing wrong with that. But it could also simply be watching. It could be liking posts. It could be commenting occasionally. That's okay too. That's a very appropriate form of engagement. It's not all about, oh, you went out and created a bunch of new stuff. It's also about what feels right for you and sends the message you want to send. So I don't want you to get caught up or hung up or worried or, you know, like, it's typically not that serious. Okay? And so I'm just going to encourage all of you, think about what is comfortable. Yes, sometimes you want to go a little outside your comfort zone, but not always. Depends. And also think about what truly benefits you. Again, goes back to the testing, right? If I'm creating a lot of content, but I'm not getting the right attention, I'm not getting recruiters in my inbox, it's not turning into job leads and interviews, why do it? I mean, you may want to do it just because you like being social, and that's okay. But if you like being social, we're probably not having this conversation, right? This is for my antisocial people. I got you. So I hope this gives you permission to tune out the noise, to ignore the always and nevers, and to really focus on the activity, the content, should you choose, and the engagement that feels authentic and gets you where you're trying to go. I cannot stress that enough. That is your North Star. That is what's important. Is this getting me where I'm trying to go? That's what I want you to focus on. If it's working and you're comfortable doing it, do more. If it's not, or it just doesn't feel authentic or genuine, stop. You do not have to have a social media presence to be a great candidate. You just don't. You gotta have great skills and a solid resume. Well, that's it. All right, y'all. I hope that helps. I hope that gives you a little bit of peace if you've been struggling with this and you're just not comfortable being super out there. Let me know down below if I'm crazy, if I'm thinking of this all wrong. But, you know, I mean, it could be, but I don't think so. Okay, we'll talk about it more. If you have questions, let us know what you think, and we will see you next week.